when I was a kid, I watched old movies almost exclusively. Yeah. And I'm bringing this up because I want to bring it around to Barry. I have to say this is, and not just because we're friends or anything, it is, I think, the best show on TV. I absolutely love it.
Nice of you, man. Thank you.
Now, keep in mind, I don't see a lot of stuff.
And he's never seen this.
I've never
seen this.
Yeah, I don't watch Barry.
I've never seen Succession.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is, I just love what you're doing with this show. And I know that this season you directed and every episode, I believe.
Yeah, every episode.
And so I kind of just wanted to go back for a second and think, explore. You clearly are such a classic film buff, and it comes through in your choices as a director, and you take that really seriously. And I know that, I think you were telling me once when you were a kid, you'd go over to sleepovers, and people thought, oh, these kids are probably watching, pornography.
Yeah, right.
It's like, no, you were watching A Clockwork Orange or Taxi Driver.
Yeah, I was watching Taxi Driver,
and studying studying the shots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no one was interested in that. Or it was like, see how the camera, it's like a subjective camera move.
I gotta go.
And they're like,
they have those in porn.
What the hell's wrong with you? Subjective camera move. Why the hell you in my house? The father comes in tighty whities. I just hear subjective camera move. Where the hell you come from? I want you to get out of my house. Looks like we got ourselves a film buff. Yeah. No, but it was more nerve-wracking for that. No, but it was, you would watch that or watch old movies, and it's just what you were kind of interested in. It was, what the thing that you can't describe, the thing that you're attracted to, that is what happens. And when I would watch movies, I remember, my mom liked actors and things like that, and what always captured me was kind of the story or the way it was shot or the design of it. And just recently, I have 3 daughters, and I showed them Rear Window, and it was fascinating because it started and they went, Dad, this is like old, 13, 10, and 8 are their ages, and they're just like, this is boring. Why are we watching this? Please, no. And then as it went on, they were getting more and more into it, and then it gets to this point, which is one of my favorite parts in any Hitchcock movie, if you can remember the movie where Grace Kelly goes and gets in the Raymond Burr's apartment.
Yeah, the killer's apartment.
The killer's apartment, and he comes home, and then there's that great moment where she finds the wife's ring, and she has the ring, and she's trying to show Jimmy Stewart across the street, like, I found the ring, and then the camera pans up, and Raymond Burr is seen that she's doing that, and he looks right into camera.
He sees
Jimmy Stewart
that Jimmy
across
Stewart's
the street.
watching.
So he now knows I'm being watched, and I now know what's happening. And when he did that, all 3 of my daughters just went, and I thought, okay, this guy made this in the 50s, early 50s, and there's just nothing that you can do whatever you want in movies, whatever. But if you have good storytelling and good craftsmanship, this is what you get. It's timeless, and it really made me, that's why I keep going back to those, because it's just the bare bones craft of it.
Hey, whether you're stuck in traffic or streaming your favorite podcasts, that's where I come in. It's important to have a network you can trust wherever you are. Say it with me, T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Yeah, you didn't really have to say it with me.
Oh.
But it is your network. I'm excited about T-Mobile.
Yeah.
They're killing it. And, who's really excited is our good friend Blay, who's been using this service. Blay, tell us about it.
Yeah, I have been a T-Mobile subscriber for a really long time. They're awesome. I download videos all the time.
Yeah, you do. You download a lot of videos.
Yeah.
I do.
Now, you've never read a book.
No, books are overrated. But and I listen to this podcast on a hike. Fantastic. Up in the mountains.
You listen to our podcast?
Contractually.
You work here.
Yeah, I have to. I have to listen to it. But it's great. And honestly, like, the coverage is insane. And yeah, I love the service. I love the phone. It's fantastic.
Experience for yourself how T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. You can't top them.
I like all the G's.
You bet you do. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY. Fastest based on median overall combined 5G speeds, according to analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data for Q4 2022.
Good.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I said exactly what they wanted me to.
You just
See
read it word
5G details at tmobile.com. I love that you bring up showing these to your kids because I always feel like I have so much on the line when I show these movies that I love to my kids, especially when they were younger, because if they weren't having it, I felt destroyed.
Yeah.
But I showed them not too long ago. I showed them
Deep Throat.
No, yeah.
Deep Throat.
Yeah, and you know what? It's got a lot of subjective camera moves.
I don't remember this, kids. I don't remember this part. I'm sorry. I saw this in the theater. I was wearing an overcoat in the 70s.
You couldn't get this stuff online back then.
No. See, the Times Square doesn't look like Times Square looks like back then. It had a real life, you know.
Subjective camera move.
Look at all these subjective dolly shots.
Don't you think there are all those people like that, purists, that are still wearing a raincoat while they are on their computer watching porn?
Like artisanal vintage jerk.
Yeah. They're just like, this is how you do it.
Yeah, and they're making their friends dress up like an usher. Like, in 15 minutes, come in and kick me out of my room. Say, hey, pan it. With the flashlight, say, hey, knock it off.
Yeah, this guy's spending thousands of dollars to hire people.
Hipster masturbators.
Yeah, hipster masturbators.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the film you were going to?
Just so I can say it, where he's, why am I blanking on? He gets dizzy when he.
Vertigo.
Vertigo. I don't know. Old age.
The one where
60.
he gets dizzy.
Vertigo.
What was the movie where you got dizzy,
It's not
Mr.
the one where she
Stewart?
showers. It's the one.
There's shower movie.
There's the shower
There's
movie.
Birdie movie.
What's the one?
There's Dizzy movie.
There's
What's the one with
Disney
rope?
movie. Then there's the Peekaboo movie.
Peekaboo movie.
I see you across the street movie.
I showed my kids Vertigo with some friends of mine, and they're watching it, and at least they were old enough to appreciate. Because I went on a riff at one point about, because it's kind of crazy. Jimmy Stewart takes this
It's kind of Dana's bit. In
beautiful
a weird way.
blonde woman up in this tower, and then she goes flying out of the tower, and so then he comes back later on to the same mission with
Kim Novak.
with Kim Novak, and I just do him running into a nun and saying, we're going to get one more try here, you see. We're just going to take and the nuns are like, no. No, you were here once with a blonde who looks exactly.
She died. She died. No. I know. I know.
I saw, run up the flagpole one more time.
I just would probably think I'm some sort of a creep.
And then I do him going after the second one, like, I kind of landed in the same spot. The wind must catch. I get it. The wind catches her a bit, and she's right where the tiles meet the eaves. Yeah. And my kids were like laughing at that, and I thought, okay, at least we
It's
have.
all right. Yeah. It's okay. It's funny that, you try to watch those old movies, and sometimes they work, but then, man, sometimes when my daughter had a big sleepover with a bunch of friends, and I'm usually downstairs watching an old movie. They're upstairs, like, whatever, singing karaoke and, singing Katy Perry songs or whatever. And then they came down. I was watching this movie called Jeopardy with Barbara Stanwyck. And it's basically a story about this couple and their child go to Mexico, and the father, played by Barry Sullivan, somehow gets stuck under there's a dilapidated boardwalk, and he gets stuck under like a piece of it, like a log, and the tide's rising. So he's like, you need to go get me help. And so she leaves her son there. She goes out to get help, and she finds Ralph Meeker, and she goes in, and he is an escaped convict. Right? So you're cutting back to Barry Sullivan, the water's up to his neck. Yep. And he's talking to his son going like, don't worry, son, it's going to be all right. Can you just set your pants on fire, son? Let's make a beacon and all this. And then she's with this killer, and my kids, And then I turn around and like more of these kids are coming in behind me and they're watching it.
Oh, cool.
And they're just totally, they go, how's she going to get back to the, you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's that simple, you know? And I came into the edit bay the next day at Barry and I was like, it really isn't that hard. If you just can, you know, tell a good story,
Right.
that's what it's going to be. And so that's why I get very inspired by that stuff.